All right, so here we go. So we are going to start off with a reading for 2023, and I'm going to do it in like batches of 3. So we're going to start with January, February, March. So we'll start there, and then we'll go April, May, June, and so on. Okay, until December. So let's see, where do we want to start? What card? I got a bunch of decks here, and I've got more off to the side, but I prepared some that beforehand I was guided to grab. So we're going to start with themes for January, February, and March. And where do we want to go? Where do you want to go? I think we'll start with the soul's journey. Okay, so right now we're focused on the themes for January, February, and March of 2023. So what is a theme or themes we can expect in those first 3 months of 2023? Okay. See what wants to come through. Yeah, there we go. Ooh, that's a great one. All right. So I don't know if you guys, I don't know if, oh, yeah, I keep forgetting because of these backgrounds, it won't show the cards, but we have the card of abundance to start off with. So that's fantastic. So we have, I am a limitless being, and I can manifest whatever I desire in this physical reality. So, I mean, that's a great start. So that's the theme, or at least one of the themes anyways, for the first 3 months of 2023. That's beautiful. Who doesn't want abundance, right? And I think I think Jupiter retrograde ended, I want to say last week. So it makes sense that going in to 2023 that we would now have this abundance, because Jupiter is the planet of abundance and luck and all that wonderful stuff. Okay, so we're starting off with abundance. Let's see what else. So we're going to take a look at blessings, but honestly, abundance, in my opinion, is a blessing. But again, I was just as I was saying that, something came through and said, well, you know, I personally think abundance is a good thing, right? Abundance, you know, a lot of, you know, some will say money or love or what, you know, job opportunities. But you can also have abundance in a not so great way. Yeah. So, but it didn't come in reversed. So I'm going to say it's a blessing. But we are going to take a quick look here to see what blessings. Ooh, let me just try that again. Blessings we can expect. Then we can get into a little more detail on these as well. Ooh, interesting. Okay, so we have the blessing of courage. I live life passionately and courageously. Okay, so let's see what story is coming up here for those first 3 months. That's a great blessing, the blessing of courage. Okay. So, let's see what else before we move right on. Okay, so there's an abundance. If you put them together, then you have abundance of courage, right? We have a lot of courage here. So, okay, so with that, we're looking at a lot of passion, a lot of courage. And I will say, we're starting to flow. So things will start to come through. I find that often when you're very first starting out in a card reading, sometimes it takes a minute for the flow to kind of pick up, at least for me anyways, maybe not for others, but for me anyways. So it's starting to come through now. Things are starting to come through. Okay. Okay, so especially if you are going into 2023 with a resolution or just a goal, right? We're really we're going for it in those first 3 months. It's going to take a lot of courage to do that, to go outside that comfort zone, because usually when we have a resolution or a goal we've set for ourselves, automatically we have made the decision to go outside our comfort zone, because otherwise we wouldn't change anything, right? If people like to be comfortable and they like to be in their zone, right? So, and people who are fine with that being, in their comfort zone and not really, they're not fans of change or any of that. They don't tend to set things like resolutions and goals for themselves, because then, and if they do, they fall apart immediately, because either subconsciously or unconsciously, they don't actually want things to change. So their plans will just completely fall apart. Their foundation is just nothing, right? It's an illusion. So in order to actually start putting those steps forward and putting in the work, right, it takes courage. And it might even take an abundance of courage to keep going, because we tend to, when we first start out, we're very passionate in the beginning, right? And then if we don't start seeing results right away, we tend to kind of peter off, and then that goes away, right? Passion kind of dies out after a while. So you really have to have a clear set vision and motivation. That's the biggest thing, is the right motivation to keep you going. Because if you're just like, well, I'd like to lose weight, that's a really common New Year's resolution, is weight loss or health, right? But if that's all you have, is like, oh, I'd like to lose some weight, or I'd like to get healthier, chances are that's not going to last very long. Like, if that passion might be there at first, and you might be like, let's go for the first week, maybe even 2, maybe 3, but 3 is when you're going to start to peter off. You really need to have the right motivation, like the clear motivation vision, to keep you going, right? You have to have a really solid foundation of what you're going to build off from there. Okay. And so we might even see this in the collective too, because this is for 2023, not just us who are here in this card reading, but just, this is a general sort of peek at 2023. So we might even see that in the collective as well. Just this, beginning of year, ready to go, get at it, right? And then you start to see things falling apart. Because it's just not, it may not be there, right? The right motivations and the strength and the foundation may or may not be there. And so there may be a call for that courage, right? To pick things up and to really get things going. So, but we'll take a look here. So right here, this is perfect segue into the obstacles. So where do we want to go for obstacles? Where do you want to go, guys? You want to go back here? Okay. So we're going back to the soul's journey to take a look at some obstacles that we might either, those of us here or in the collective, some obstacles that we may come up against in these first 3 months of January, February, March of 2023. There we go. Okay, that's interesting. So we have success. So like I said, there could be obstacles in the way of this success. So like I said, when we're talking about either resolutions or something that's going on in the collective, that there may be a starting out point where we're like, yes, let's go get them, right? Whatever that is, I'm not sure what it is yet, but whatever that is, let's go get them. There's a lot of let's go to begin with, and then things will start to peter off, right? There's not a really strong foundation there to build off of, and things just kind of fall apart, right? Or they could fall apart here. So I just want to mention very quickly, as I'm saying that, nothing is written in stone. This is not fate. This is our current timeline, and timelines can and do change. This is our current timeline, our current trajectory. and those do change. Okay, so this is what we're seeing right now, but there could be a change that is we may or may not see in the cards right now. So, but I am seeing that in these first 3 months, that if we don't, I guess you could take this as more of a heads up than a, like I said, this is not fate, okay, not destiny. So this is a heads up that either in a collective way, or you can take it personal, you know, just in your own personal moving forward, that if you don't have a strong foundation, clear motivation and vision, and the courage to keep going when it gets hard and you don't see results right away, then you risk success, right? You're not likely to attain that goal, whatever that goal is, okay? But if you do, if you see this, if you heed this sort of thing, and you make sure that you have that strong foundation, you have that clear vision, the right motivation to keep you on track, then you can be successful. Again, I was going to show the card, but you can't see this background. So, no, somebody dropped out. Okay, so, but you could have that success. So I'm going to say probably, because it's in these first 3 months. So let's see. So let's see, success. I know that there is no greater goal than to love. So that's interesting. Well, that's interesting. Well, I'll lose my money going nowhere. Sorry, it's making personally. Okay. All right, so well, hopefully Nicole pops back on, but for now, so yeah, so this is just what I'm seeing right now. That's an obstacle. Now we're going to look at some guidance. What are we looking at for guidance? What would you like? What would you like? Let me see. So we're looking at guidance for this possible obstacle. So let's see. I'm still being drawn back to this. So right now, they just want to focus in on these first 2 decks. So, okay, so what is some guidance? So that maybe we can be successful in attaining our goals and our resolutions, either in the collective or even just personally. What's some guidance? Oh, here we go. You can't make this up. I mean, I'm actually, because I have to show you this. You cannot make this up. 1 second. I want to see if I can remove this background for just a quick second. Okay. Just a second here, because you have to see this. What was I just saying? Commitment. Okay. How wild is that? So that's their guidance right there. So we'll get more into it, but I mean, you can't make this stuff up. What was it? It's just confirmation, right? It's just confirmation. So we'll put that background back on and we'll see what comes up. Okay. So, I mean, that's some pretty clear-cut guidance right there, that if you want to be successful in attaining your goals and, you know, in your resolutions and all that jazz, or that's personally or within the collective, that if we want to attain those goals, we have to commit. We have to have the courage to commit, right? How wild is that? Okay, so let me see. My commitments increase my joy and freedom. I mean, it's right there. That's wild. That's wild. So yeah, so even when things, you know, because things will get, you know, it's not going to be just smooth. It's very rare that things are just smooth sailing, right? It's not that it never happens, but it's pretty rare, right? And so, especially when we're getting outside our comfort zone, we're inherently going to be uncomfortable, right? And if we don't see the results right away, we tend to just either, you know, we're like, oh, this is, you know, I'm on the wrong path, or, you know, this is a sign saying stop what you're doing, or, you know, we'll find something, right? And that may not be the case. It's just a matter of, maybe of committing and understanding that you're going to be uncomfortable for a little bit. You may not see results immediately, right? Depending on where you're kind of starting at, right? You may or may not see results right away, and to commit, right? So even in times where, you're not seeing the results, and maybe you are in a state of, I'm unsure, should I continue on, right? It feels like there's obstacle after obstacle and that I'm going in the wrong direction. But that's just because you haven't committed. You have to commit. Okay, so that's their big guidance here, that whatever your goal is, your resolution is, whatever, okay, whatever that is, you have to commit. And even when you're uncomfortable, even when you're unsure, just keep going, okay? So that is for the first 3 months. Is there any questions or anything before I move on to the following 3 months? That is wild. Oh, okay. So put these over here. Now, let's put those right there. No, okay. So now we're going into April, May, and June. April, May, and June. Are we switching now? Okay, we're going to switch now. Switching decks, that is. Okay, so we're looking at a theme or themes for April, May, and June. What can we expect theme-wise? April, May, and June of 2023. Ooh, that popped right up. Oh, interesting. Okay. So first of all, we have caring connections. Ooh, an angel of strength. Okay, so those are some great themes. Okay, and that's interesting too, because I was thinking, what was it with the courage card? It made me think of like the solar plexus chakra and like Leo energy, and that's the same with the angel of strength card, because even here, I mean, symbolically, even the line that's, strength, but it's also tied in with Leo, right? Leo the lion, right? And that is also tied in with the solar plexus chakra. So I'm seeing here that the couple of themes that in those months are, so we have caring connections to start off with. So even though in this particular card, it looks like a man and woman type of couple. And so for some of you, you may find maybe starting a relationship in this time, like you may be finding your partner or a partner during this time. Let's see what else. Or if you're already, if you're already married, maybe there's a rekindling, maybe a little more romance. Let's see what else wants to come through. Okay, I'm also hearing what is that? Okay, so for some of you, I'm also hearing, spending more time with friends as well. So they're going to be spending some time with friends. Maybe, I just heard family reunion for some. So there could be a family reunion somewhere in there. Especially, I would say probably, I would expect maybe in like July or something like that, where it's summer and, depending on where you are anyways. I'm in Canada, so for me, July is like, that's when summer kind of really starts. We have pretty crappy weather here until then, so we'll see. What is that word that wants to come through? Oh, it does. It's like, what is that? Networking. There it is. It took me a minute. I'm also hearing networking. So there could be some networking happening around that time as well. So it could be, business related, career related. It could be maybe again related back into meaning a new friend group, maybe. What else? Okay, and in the collective, I'm kind of feeling like that's coming through too. So there could be something where within the collective, I don't know if it's going to be worldwide or just in a certain area, but where there's a coming together, right? Because we have that caring connection. So where something's going to, something may happen where we're kind of all brought together in some way, shape, or form, right? We're all kind of backing a certain thing, right? So it could be like, I don't know what it is just yet, but so it could be, you know, like last year, or no, was it last year or 20? No, I think it was in 2020 when we had like that really strong. So there could be, I don't want to say it's something, you know, negative. I don't think it's going to be something like COVID again, right? But it could be something where we're all backing the same cause, right? So I think it was back in 2020. My timelines kind of get a little blurry, to be honest, where there was a real push behind the Black Lives Matter, right? There's a bunch of that, and then other ways, there's, you know, real backing behind the LGBTQ plus community, or you know, something like that, something where, and again, I'm not saying it's anything that's negative that backs it up. It's just something where we all kind of come together. And I believe Pride happens in June, right? So it could be something like that. Okay, because we also have the Angel of Strength here. And so I feel like those are because they came together, they came up right at the same time, that's connected. So we're really going to need to have that strength in numbers, right? Whatever this is, okay, we'll have the strength in numbers, and really we're going to need to tap into, again, that energy of courage and strength in order to push this thing forward, whatever this thing is. Okay. Okay, so let's see what else. So we have, next we'll look at some blessings for April, May, and June. I think I mentioned July before, but I guess June, excuse me, instead of July. Okay, so we're looking at blessings for April, May, and June. Where are we going? Yeah, we're going back there. Okay. Okay, so we're looking at some blessings here. Okay, and I'm also, oh, here we go. Before I turn this over though, because I'm really being drawn to that, the lion on here, and really that Leo energy. So even though this is for April, May, and June, I feel like whatever is started there bleeds into August. I think like it's going to go on through the summer as well. I really feel like it might even, that might be where it really gains traction, like when we'll really see power behind it, whatever that is. But I'm really feeling that. Oh, we have Tamika. Okay, so we're looking at blessings. Interesting. Okay, so for blessings, we have patience. So I might want to get a little more information on that. I accept that everything happens in divine order. Okay, so we might also attach that to whatever, and maybe I'll see if I can get some more information on what this thing is that we all will be coming together to kind of, you know, back and put strength into. So with this patience though, I feel like that's going to be, again, if it's something where it's like the Black Lives Matter or Pride or something like that, that's going to kind of, you know, bring us all together. Because that's what I feel like it's like a movement. That's the word I was looking for. I'm really seeing there's going to be a movement that's going to be picking up and gaining traction. Even though this is only up until June, I feel like it's going to go right through at least August. It's really going to start to pick up. Okay. And it's going to call for us, even though this is blessings, it's really going to call for, again, that courage to keep going, that courage, that commitment, but also patience. It's also calling for patience as we're doing this, okay? Whatever this movement is, and maybe I'll get some more information on that. And yeah, it could be because the caring connections, and it's a couple that's on this card that makes me think it might be something like pride or the LGBTQ, something like that. We'll see. I'll see if I can get some more information on that. But I feel like it's really going to call in, oh, Tamika, almost forgot. It's really going to call for our patience and understanding that everything happens in divine timing. Okay. And for some of us, that's going to be a really frustrating, thing to hear. And, like if it's something that we're like, why isn't it just happening? Right. Again, that whole, if I don't see immediate results, then then I'm just, it's all or nothing. Okay. We got to not do the guidance. We're going to get some more guidance here, but what else is coming through here? The guidance is to commit anyways, right? Even if we don't see immediate results and we're unsure of the path ahead, we are being guided to commit and tap into that courage and strength and patience, okay? And understanding that everything happens in divine order. Okay, so even if you're looking at it on its face value and you're like, I just don't see it, I don't see this thing, panning out or working out or gaining any traction, it seems like we're going backwards, okay? We have to have that mindset of, we're only seeing it on the surface level, right? If you look at it from the divine, we might see a very different outcome than what we're just seeing on face value, okay? So that's the blessings. Where are we going for obstacles? Tarot, interesting, okay. We'll go tarot. So we're gonna see, what are some potential obstacles that may come up in April, May, or June of 2023. Okay. Knight of Cups, okay. Might need a clarifier for that. So we got Knight of Cups. I might need to feel into that for a minute. Wants to come through. There we go. Let's see if we can get some clarifiers. Ooh, interesting. Okay. Okay, so there could be the first thing I just heard was like a manipulation of emotions. Okay, so that could be an obstacle that's coming up. So I'm feeling like, especially if this is like a big movement, I don't know if it's going to be, if this is like a worldwide thing or a specific area, but especially if you have something like a government coming in, if this is a movement that they are not backing or not the majority is going to back, okay, I can see an obstacle coming through of manipulation. Okay, so they're going to try and manipulate people's emotions. Okay, what else? They're going to try to go backwards, right? So whatever this thing is, because we're trying to move forward, whatever this movement that we're backing as a collective, whatever we're trying to back, whatever movement we're trying to back, we're trying to move it forward, right? And this governing body wants to not only not move it forward, they don't want to just stop where we're at right now. They want to bring it back, right? They're going backwards, or at least that's what they want. They want us to go back to the good old days, or whatever that means, okay? So I can see how, so that's going to be something of an obstacle that's going to get in the way. That the government, again, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, okay? I'm not like anti-government or any of that crap. I'm not part of the Q community or whatever that is, okay? I'm just saying that people in power, which is typically government, okay? When we're talking about a collective, okay? Feels like division when you said that. Exactly. And so, like, I can say, so like I'm Canadian, but I'm on social media, so I see a lot of what happens in like the US, and they're right there. Like literally, there is a bridge where I live. There is a bridge between my city and America, and the US. Like it's right there. And so I'm in tuned to what's going on there. So there's certain things that are happening there that with either whatever, Black Lives Matter, LGBTQ, any of that stuff where we're trying to move it forward, the government there, or certain sectors, let's say, of the government there, are not only wanting to stop us from moving forward, they want to bring it back, right? They want to keep things, make America great again, sorry if anybody's a part of that that part of the government, if they support that. I clearly don't, but I could see how some people in government or in power want to stop us from progressing, okay? And so that's kind of what I'm seeing. That's an obstacle that may come up, as we're trying to back this movement and make things better, at least how we view better, right? It'd be, I guess, a matter of opinion, but how we're trying to make things different, okay? I can see how certain people in power would want to not only stop that, but bring it back and try, through manipulation, specifically in your emotions, but trying to manipulate the narrative, change your emotions about it, okay? And try to, just try to get to, to try and stop this movement, whatever this movement's going to be, okay? So what is some guidance around that? What are we looking at? What do we want for guidance? Okay. So what is some guidance around this obstacle? Got a couple of them. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so the first one we have is inspiration. Okay, so we got to, kind of, I was going to say fight back, but I don't like that energy. I don't like that energy. So we have to stay inspired, and we have to, if we're going to not get sort of, to, how do I want to say this? Because I don't want to say fight back. I don't like that energy. We have to inspire the masses. Okay, that's what I want to say. We have to inspire the masses. Okay, if we want to push this movement forward, okay, and keep it from being stalled by these entities in power, okay? Okay, so on here it says, I am receiving divine inspiration right now. Okay, so we have to be able to see things from the divine's perspective, from the higher self's perspective, okay? Okay, and being open to that, whatever we receive, okay, as an individual or as a collective, right? To being open to that. So this is a crown chakra thing that we have to be open, that it needs to be open in order for things to come through, okay? Okay. I'm just trying to see if anything else wants to come through before I move on to the next card. Okay, and the third eye is coming through too. I'm feeling this as well. So these upper chakras. So I would even say the throat. So any of these, like I would say probably, because the heart chakra is the bridge between the lower dimensions and then the higher dimensions. So we're looking at the heart chakra and up to really stay in this energy of inspiration, letting divine come through, and being able to inspire the masses. Okay, because these people in power are going to try to distract, right? Distract and manipulate. Okay, and so if we want this movement to gain any kind of traction, we have to be in the energy of inspiration. Okay, we also have purification here. So we have to make sure that our motivations are pure, right? That this isn't about manipulation, right? We don't want to fight fire with fire. Okay, we do want to inspire the masses, but we don't do it through manipulation. Okay. So on this card, it says, my energy field is being cleansed of all that I do not need. Okay. So anything that's not going to serve this movement, get rid of it. This is the guidance. Okay. Drop it. So we don't want to come into this movement that I'm seeing here with any kind of let's call low vibe, okay, energy. So we don't want to come at it with like anger or rage or resentment or any of that stuff that makes you feel ugh, or makes you feel heavy. Okay, we want to come at it from that place of inspiration and those higher, let's call it higher vibrations. Okay, so we're coming at it with, you know, joy and bliss and inspiration and creativity. Okay, we're coming at it with these, you know, and love, right? That's the big one. That was a big one. We want to come at it with love in our hearts. Okay, so anytime you find yourself, and I know I'm guilty of this too, right? When I see stuff that I'm like, I don't agree with that, that is really wrong and gross, right? I have that energy in me that of like, you know, I don't like that, or I don't like what those people are doing. I don't like what they're saying, you know, and just like, sometimes I get angry about it, right? Or just that kind of lower vibe energy. And our guidance here is saying, don't, you know, let that go. If you have to, I just heard, if you have to, in order to let that go, we need to forgive. Okay, we have to tap into that heart chakra energy, that unconditional love and forgiveness. Okay. Ooh, she's coming through. She's coming through. Okay. Because that's how we kind of purify anything that's at low vibration, that quote unquote low vibration energy. In order to purify it, we have to go through the heart chakra and we have to tap into forgiveness, the energy of forgiveness and love. Obviously, it's the heart chakra, so love. Okay. So that was the April, May, and June. I keep having to do that. So that's what we can look forward to. But again, we'll keep going here. But I feel like this is still going to, we're still going to see some of this right through even August. We might even see like, there may be, we'll see here in a minute, there may be some success there, or it's starting to really gain traction, right? This is really where things start to kick off, you know, and gain traction. Maybe we'll get some success there in August, but this is for April, May, and June. Okay. Okay, so April, May, June. So now we're going into July, August, September. Where do we want to go for? What are the themes? Where do we want to go for July, August, and September? Yeah, okay. Okay, so let's see what theme or themes want to come up. July, August, September 2023. What are some themes? Oh, that one came. Oof. Oh, yeah. What are you looking? Ooh. Okay, so we got passion. So as I was saying about backing this movement, okay, yes, we have to have that inspiration. We have to come from a place of love and joy and bliss and have the, commitment and strength to keep moving forward, but we also need passion. Okay, so so that's a big theme. So for that July, August, and September, again, this could just, for some of you, you may want to just take this as your own personal thing, but within the collective, we're seeing a lot of passion, okay, building up in these months. Okay, so anything else before I go on to blessings? No, okay. What can we look for blessings? Yeah, okay. Okay, so what are some blessings we can expect for July, August, and September 2023? Any blessing or blessings? There we go. Oh, interesting. That is interesting. Okay. Might need a clarifier on this, but so we have attachment. Okay, so I want to see, where do I want to go? Maybe I can get I'd like to get a little more information about this attachment. Okay, so I'm going to keep shuffling here, but I'm starting to see, that a mask is being pulled off, right? We're going to see the face of something that's been masked, but let's see if we can get a little more detail about that. So again, we might end up, it might be that, the people in power that are trying to stop the movement and send it backwards. I'm feeling like it might be related to that, right? So people will start to see the manipulation, see what they're trying to do, okay, and start to disconnect from that. So I'm feeling like there will be people that will be manipulated, right? They'll be like, yep, we are with Team Power, right? What they're doing is, we back that. We want this thing to stop, this movement to stop, and we want to go back, right? Even if they didn't before, right? Even if this is something where they're like, right now, if you'd ask them, they'd be like, nah, we're indifferent about it, or yeah, cool, marry whoever you want, or whatever, right? But through this manipulation, things start to get changed. And we saw this specifically with the Q movement, especially it really kicked off. I think it started back in 2017, but we really saw it gain traction and really take power during the pandemic, during the 2020, and then so on. Okay. And so a lot of people have been manipulated, and they believe these manipulations, and they believe the lies that they've been fed. Okay. And I'm starting to see that some of these people, maybe not in that specific community, but the people that were snowed, right? that did believe the manipulations and the lies of the people in power. Something's going to happen there, and I'll see what that is in a minute. Something happens there where somebody in that power group is going to do something that makes the people that were manipulated go, hey, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Or maybe even those of us who are a part of the movement and came at them with inspiration and love, suddenly they go, wait a minute, I think I've been lied to. I don't like that. Right? So, but we'll see. Okay, so we're still on blessings, though. We're still on blessings, but that's what I'm starting to see right now, is that those people that were taken for a ride, they start to see that that's what's happened, that they have been lied to, that they've been manipulated. Okay, let's see. Ooh, okay, so we have the sun. That's a wonderful blessing. That's the sun is all, it's all good, right? That's a great card. Okay, so yeah, so with this, that's what I'm seeing. Okay, so that light comes out, that, you know, they get that, hey, wait a minute, right? That moment of aha, right? There's like a spotlight on these people that were in power, that were manipulating people, and those people that were manipulated will go, hey, wait a minute, wait a damn minute, right? They're going to see the truth, and that mask is going to come off. Okay. What else? Okay, yeah. And like I was saying before, I'm really feeling like this is that aha moment is going to happen in August. Okay. Okay, let's see what else. Pardon me. One sip of water. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to look at some obstacles, or an obstacle for July, August, September. Where do we want to go? We'll go back to the tarot. No, we want to go here. Okay. Okay. So what is an obstacle we might see, we might face in July, August, and September of 2023? Oops. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so even though these are typically great cards, that because they came up in the obstacles section here, let me see if I can move that. So we're going to look at this. So I'm seeing, again, we're going to say a man in power, or someone who is a very masculine energy that is in power. Okay, this is somebody, so it could be like, we have ourselves, yeah. So we have, again, this could be personal, but we're going to look at the collective here. So somebody who has a lot of power, has a lot of money specifically. Okay, so this could be like an Elon Musk thing, right? Maybe this is the downing of Twitter, who knows? Okay. And again, the obstacle here is, again, say hi, I'm sorry, I was away. Now I'm back. All right. So this person or persons, okay, this could be, you know, again, a governing body, or a single person. So it could even be someone like Trump, right? Someone that's a man that's in power, that has a lot of money, okay? And I'm seeing that the obstacle here is that either this man or this person with who's very masculine in energy, or even a part of government, okay, that wants to let's see, how do we want to say this? How do you want to say this? Okay, so they're going to come from a place of money, right? So they're going to want to try and take away. So let's say part of this movement, typically when we're backing a movement, there's money behind that, right? You need money to really push these movements forward and gain traction, right? So we need like charities, things like that, right? Charities need money, okay? Or what have you, right? To move things forward. And I feel like this person or this group of people are going to try and interrupt that, the money flow. They're going to come at us through the money, okay? They're either going to try and put more money into what they do want, which is stopping the movement, okay? Or they're going to try to find a way to cut off that money flow, and maybe even redirect it towards themselves in nefarious ways, okay? Not trying to scare anybody, but but this is just the obstacle. There is going to be guidance, and we do have blessings here, so okay. So is there anything else before I move on? And again, if we're looking at this even in our personal lives too, so we do want to kind of look out for that as well, right? So even if you're not a part of this massive movement, maybe this is something that you need to, if you feel like it, if you feel like this is speaking to you personally, and not in a, you know, movement type of way, okay? So this is still that heads up that there could be someone with a masculine energy, maybe they're your boss, or they, you know, husband, father, brother, whatever, okay? Or even just someone with, you know, masculine energy, however they identify, okay? That may come in and come in and kind of try to mess up your money, okay? So just kind of be aware of that. Don't put too much energy towards it because you don't want to manifest that, okay? This is just a sort of heads up, and we're going to get some guidance around that, okay? Okay, so let's look at some guidance around this obstacle, around this masculine energy that is going to want to mess up the whole money or come in with this money thing, okay? Where do we want to go? Okay. Okay, so now we're looking at some guidance around this obstacle, or how can we get through this obstacle? What can we do? What's some guidance? There we go. Interesting. Okay. I might need a clarifier on this. We have the card Beauty. And so for some of you, you may need to hear this message. I am deeply and profoundly beautiful. Okay. Let's see if we can get a little more, maybe a clarifier on that, around how beauty can help us with this obstacle. Okay, okay. So we have Healer of the Ages. Okay. Okay, so some of this is, again, tapping into that heart chakra energy. Okay, and coming through with that, okay, the forgiveness and the unconditional love and compassion, right? And we're putting that energy towards both the people that we may be not in agreement with, right? But also towards, it's like focusing on what you want, not what you don't want, right? So putting that, all that love and all that beauty, right? The energy of that beauty. Oh, you can't see this card, but seeing the beauty in this movement, okay? Putting all of that love and energy into what we do want instead of being distracted by, you know, the people that are trying to put roadblocks up, okay? What else? Okay, I'm still coming into that energy again of inspiring the masses. We want to be in that energy of inspiring the masses, okay? And coming through with that divine energy, making sure that we're open to that divine, divine timing, divine inspiration, divine guidance, okay? Making sure that, you know, in these moments when we feel like, you know, the man, quote unquote, right, is trying to keep us down, right? We got to tap into that energy of the higher self and of the divine and, you know, try to see from that perspective. Let me see what else. Okay, and we also want to transmute some of that energy too. So that energy that, because they're putting out energy too. So the people that maybe we are not agreeing with that are trying to stop this movement, okay, they're putting out a ton of energy too, right? And so we can take that and transmute that energy through this heart chakra, through the divine, through that divine, okay? And channeling that through, but we tend to transmute energy through the heart chakra. Okay, so we can transmute that energy and then put it out in a way that actually is going to serve ourselves, and the collective and this movement, okay? Okay, so I just got this image. It's a really famous picture of, there's like a soldier with a gun, and then in front of him, there's this beautiful, again, beauty, this beautiful woman that's standing in front of them, holding a flower, like holding it out to them, right? And that's the image I just got, okay? So when you have somebody who is metaphorically, okay, you know, pointing that gun at you, that you come back at them with this flower, right? With that energy, right? With the metaphorical flower, you hand them this flower. And what's funny is, and I'm getting this card now. Let me just, so you can see it. Get rid of this background for a second. Okay. I want you to see this. Yes, divine feminine energy coming in as guidance, absolutely. And so you see, I don't know if you can see in this, but she's holding a flower, right? So I'm starting to understand what that is now. And even in this card here, passion, right? There's a flower there. There's a flower. Okay, so taking that, as Tamika said, divine feminine energy, okay? And that's what we're going to sort of transmute. Let's call it, what just came through is this toxic masculine energy. We're going to transmute it with divine feminine energy, okay? That's the guidance, okay? Put that background back on. Okay, we're getting closer to the end of this part here. So, okay, so that is July, August, and September. So now we're on October, November, December. We're getting to the end now. Okay. I just knocked something over. Okay, so looking at themes for October, November, December. Where do we want to go? Yeah, okay. We can do that a little bit here. Okay. What are some themes or a theme for the end of the year of 2023? Okay, so we have three. I'm feeling like these three, I gotta take them. Okay. So what do we have here? Oh, okay. So themes are letting us know that we are on the right path. We'll get to more of this in a second. So keep doing what you're doing because it's working. Okay, so before I move on, again, commitment, okay? So whether it's still talking about this movement or maybe something in your personal lives, or something else happening in the collective. Okay, so letting us know, stay the course, whatever that is, stay the course. Okay, that even when it looks, looks the darkest, right? It doesn't seem like we're making any traction, either in our personal lives or a movement. Okay, whatever, even if it looks like we're not getting anywhere, or that this toxic masculine energy or whatever seems to be winning out, it's telling us stay the course. Okay, so we also have builder. Okay, yeah, so again, stay the course, we're still getting traction on that. Okay, and justice. Okay, so those are our themes. So this is what I'm seeing here. Okay, so for November, because we have the 3 cards here, so for November, the theme here is you're on the right path. Okay, you're on the right path. November, we have builder, and that says your innate ability to build and create brings you a deep sense of accomplishment. Okay, so we're getting somewhere. Okay, and then December, justice. Okay, so this one is talking about career. So for some of you, this might be something you take personally. Okay, this might be a personal message for you. Your career brings fairness and protection to others who need your help. Okay, so that's for December. So you're really just kind of seeing this path, right? This sort of story coming out. And again, if this feels like, even though this is meant for, a general 2023 for the collective, that if you're feeling like this is really speaking to you personally, then that's how you're meant to take it, is in your personal life. Okay. And so we're seeing that we have some justice at the end of whatever, again, whether it's this movement, something in our personal lives, maybe something else that's going on in the collective that has nothing to do with the movement. Okay, so it is letting us know, though, that we are, you're on the right path, and just keep building, just keep going, right, with builder, and then huzzah, justice at the end, right? We're getting that justice. So again, if this is about the movement, okay, it looks like we succeed in December. It's on some level. We may not get, everything that maybe we were, pushing for, but we get somewhere. Okay, by the end of the year, we get something. Okay, so victory of some sort at the end. Okay. Okay. So we're going to look at some blessings, which honestly, I think justice is, a blessing in itself, but we're going to look at some blessings here. Where do we want to go? Where do we want to go? Okay. Okay. So what are some blessings we can expect for the end of the year, 2023? Interesting. Okay. 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 This goes here. I see your message there, Tamika. Okay, so for blessings, we have silence. But I think what's important here is the message on the card here. So it says, I am serene no matter what is occurring around me. Okay, so even when it seems like, again, it seems the darkest, or things are chaotic, or it doesn't seem like we're getting anywhere, what have you, okay, is to remain centered and grounded. Okay, don't listen to all that noise. That's some guidance here. We're going to get into more guidance here, but that's really what I'm hearing, is that when toxic masculinity is going and freaking out and making all kinds of noise and ruckus and being toxic, right? Our divine guidance, okay, is to remain silent. It's to remain silent internally, right? Not, you know, not stop spreading your message, of course, but they just mean like block all that crap out. Centered, okay? Grounded, centered, okay? I'm also hearing focused. Okay, so we're not listening to toxic masculinity and all that noise. Okay, come here, right here. Okay, we're listening, and then we're going to, and I mentioned it before in my most recent meditation blog / video, when we're talking about meditation, right? It's about that mental silence, the stillness, okay? So that way we're not getting wrapped up in the drama and getting sidetracked, right? Okay, we're just going to be centered, calm, right? Listening to that divine guidance, okay? Okay. So even when all that noise is going on, okay, that's our blessing. We're going to have the blessing of inner silence, okay? Not outer, but inner silence, right? Okay. So some potential obstacles that may come up. Okay. At the end of the year. Interesting. Okay. I'm going to need a clarifier on that one. Was in reverse. Okay, so I'm going to get a bit of a clarifier on here, but right now, just based off of this card, because we have woman holding a coin that's in reverse, so that makes me feel like there could be an abuse of power here, okay? Or, so an abuse of power, okay, but I'm also seeing like, because this is like either a feminine energy or someone who identifies as female coming through, that's in a place of power. So before we had a man that was in power or a masculine energy that was in power, now we have a feminine energy coming through that's in power, that again is sort of coming through with the drama and, you know, just trying to, you know, they're kind of siding with that toxic masculinity, if you will. Okay, and they're trying to just kind of mess up that divine feminine energy that we're trying to put through. Okay, so, but let's see, I want to actually get a clarifier on this. And again, that could even be in your, I mean, that could be in the collective, but that could also be in your own personal lives. And I'm also hearing micro and macro. So what happens in the, you know, in the community, right, in the collective, we will also see personally, right? We're also going to see that in our own personal stuff. So. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, somebody's going to try to come through. Again, it could be, so let's see, what are we looking at here? Yeah, so as we're trying to come through with this divine feminine energy, one of the obstacles here that I'm seeing is that there's going to, again, because those people in power don't want to lose their power, to feel like they're losing their power, right? They're going to want to try and bring that down. Okay. So I feel like they're going to come at the family angle, whatever that. So again, this could be in your person. If it's speaking to you personally, take it that way. But I'm seeing it in the collective that these people in power, when the money thing doesn't work, they're going to come at the family angle. Okay, they're going to take that family angle. Okay, so if we're looking at something like LGBTQ A+, if we're looking at a movement such as that, right, it's so often that there are certain people in power, specifically in government, who, and, you know, and really just in the collective itself, there are certain people that are not in power, but support those in power that believe that, you know, marriage and all that should be only, you know, between a man and a woman, and only they should be raising children, right? And so I feel like this movement may not be about the LGBTQ community, but just as an example, okay, I can see where these people in power are going to, when the money thing doesn't work out, that they will pivot, okay, and they're going to try to focus in on family values and all that stuff. They're going to come at you that way, or find a way to make you feel like your personal family is being sort of attacked. Okay, they're going to try and come at you that way. What else? Okay, yeah, and it still may be, again, going off on the say the, as an example, the gay marriage thing, that they might try to thank you, have to sleep now. Okay, sweet dreams. Okay, bye. But I can see how they will, in the gay marriage thing, they might try to take another go. I think Biden, at least in America anyways, I think Biden signed something that says gay marriage is totally legal, can't do anything about it. But I feel like, oh, Tamika, you're going to, okay. Or are you just saying goodnight to Althea? But yes, okay. No. Okay. So yeah, so they're going to, so these people again might try to come at gay marriage again, like they might try to attack gay marriage again, or they might try to, yeah, it might not have anything to do with that. I don't know yet, but I'm just really seeing that when the money thing doesn't work, and when people are starting to see, because that mask is going to come off, right? People are going to stop buying into their bullshit, okay? They're going to pivot, okay, and try to come at the family or the family unit, okay? Okay, so that is an obstacle. Now let's see about some guidance. Maybe here. See about some guidance around this. Oh. Okay. So for the guidance here, we're being guided not to worry about it, not to put our energy towards that, right? Again, silent, that inner silence, that stillness, that centeredness that says block out all that bullshit. Okay, we are not going to put our energy towards that. Okay, we're putting our energy towards what we do want, not what we don't want. Okay, because we have the energy of worry here, and it says, I am learning that worry doesn't change an outcome. Okay, so we're not going to listen to that. So if they're going to try and come at the family unit or whatever, okay, it's bullshit. We're not going to put our energy into it. We just transmute that toxic masculine energy with that divine feminine, right? We're not even going to listen to that. That's just noise. It's just noise. Okay. Is there anything else? Because we've come to the end. So I just want to see of this portion. If anybody wants a card reading, that's still available. I just want to see if there's anything else. Okay, so I'm also getting just more on like it's something of a collective, but something you could probably take a little more personally. We'll see that for some people, because this is like a holiday type of season around these that October, November, December specifically. There's holidays there, and so I'm also picking up on that too, that some people are going to be feeling like, you know, they're missing family members, or they're not going to be able to be with family, or family's not going to be able to be with them, right? And you know, the holidays can be, for some people that celebrate it, it can be kind of a downer for some people. Okay, so I'm seeing that too, and so I'm seeing that the guidance also around that is, again, to, you know, let go of that worry, right? Transmute that energy. Okay, or you know, same with you know, gifts and things like that. You're like, you might get to the end of the year or whatever and be like, oh, you know, I'm not able to get all the gifts that maybe I wanted to get people for whatever reason, right? And so they're saying, you can't change that with worry, right? I want to see if there's anything else. We'll finish this up really quick, and then if anybody wants a card reading, we can do that. I just want to see if there's anything else in a way of guidance. Ooh. Okay, and so we're also being guided to let go of envy. So people, so this is more again along the lines of we're not looking at like the movement or any of that stuff. This is more something we can take personally, if you will, where again in these holiday seasons you find yourself being envious of other people who have these big family get-togethers and you don't have that, right? And maybe that's something you're jealous of or envious of, or there are certain things that maybe you wanted as a gift and you didn't, and you didn't get it, right? You might be envious that somebody else does have the thing that you want. Okay, and so that's part of the guidance too, is letting that go. Okay. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to wrap this portion up.